Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here and welcome to PlayLoad. This is all my video game pickups for the month of October 2016. And as per usual, I'm just going to show you guys a little, quickly, like the stuff I already showed you, just because obviously no reason to spend too much time on that. First up is the Game Boy Advance Ever Drive. Already did an entire video on this. Check that out for more information. Long and the short of it, it's a cartridge you put in your Game Boy Advance, has every game ever made on it. Sounds, interesting, right? Go check out the video. The other thing I wanted to show you that I've already showed you, if you were watching all month, Mafia III, the Deluxe Edition, PS4. I actually got the Deep Cuts Edition, which is the collector's set plus the vinyl record player. Yeah, that was an actual thing. 2K sent me that whole collection, and I did a video on it, and I was just like, wow, that's awesome. So there you go. I just want to show you guys. That is, I did, in fact, of course, get the game. This has the season pass as well as a bunch of other stuff. Really, go check out that video. You'll see all the cool things. So those things aside, let's talk about stuff you haven't seen already. Now, I actually picked up a game for the console I'm constantly ripping into. The Nintendo Wii. I picked up Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. It's no secret, I'm not a fan of the original Wii. But, first-party Nintendo title, not a bad game, not an amazing game, not a bad game, but for cheap. It was like $3 at like a bookstore, so I was like, okay, I can't pass on that, so I went ahead and got that. But, yeah. Now, moving on, I also got a bunch of Wii U stuff, North American titles, ones that were being cleansed ever since the announcement of the Switch. A lot more Wii U stuff is just getting purged, especially a lot of the older things. So here's what I got. I got the 3 Disney Infinity games. I don't care about the toys. I mean, Disney Infinity was discontinued already, so the toys are worthless, the games are worthless, etc. I know you need the toys to like play the game properly, but I don't really care about any of that. They're just basically going to go on a shelf and be part of the collection. So they were super cheap. So it's Disney Infinity 2.0, and 3.0. So there you go. In that same vein, also got Guitar Hero Live. Don't have the guitar. I found the game by itself for sale, like a used CD store. Cheap, just picked it up. This one is, however, is one I actually wanted, and thank you Best Buy for making this a clearance item now. Lego Jurassic World. So there you go. Pretty cool game. If you played any of the Lego games, you already kind of know it. Same type of game. Cool that it has all 4 of the movies kind of made into a game. Yeah, definitely a nice pickup for the Wii U. Now, moving on. Oh, in case you're not aware, you're like, why the fuck did you pick up all that crap? I want to get a full Wii U set. Make no secret about that, and I just got a lot closer because of that stuff. I already have most of them. Moving on, the original Xbox, another console I'm at least flirting with the idea of getting a full set of. So I kind of chip away at it while it's still cheap and nobody really wants it. So here's what I managed to find recently, well, over this month, I should say. Roadkill. Self-describes it as Twisted Metal Black meets Grand Theft Auto. Haven't played it, so I'm not really sure how accurate that is, but it's possible. Special Force Nemesis Strike. This one I was excited to pick up. Star Wars Jedi Outcast 2 Jedi Knight 2, or Star Wars Jedi Outcast Jedi Knight 2, whatever. No, I think it's actually Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. There we go, 3rd time's the charm. I think the only Star Wars game I'm missing on the OG Xbox now is the first one of this series, which I assume is just called Star Wars Jedi Knight. I don't remember offhand, but nice to get that one off the list. Terminator 3 The Redemption. People forget there was actually 2 Terminator 3 games. This one is supposedly a lot better than the other one, but the other one is more well known. Rise of the Machines is more well known because it was like promoted along with the movie originally, and actually has scenes they've made for the game that explain certain things that happen in the movie you don't ever see. So cool, but this one supposedly as a game is actually better. Transworld Snowboarding. So apparently an Xbox exclusive, or at least it claims to be. I don't know if it's stayed an exclusive or not. That's a common thing. A lot of times consoles say, oh, it's only on this console, and then it turns out it gets ported to something else later. So, possible. Whiteout, which as far as the Xbox is concerned was a North American exclusive, and I learned that because a buddy of mine in the UK was looking for this game because he wanted the North American exclusives, and he said, yeah, that's one of them, so there you go, picked it up for him, although this is my copy. And then I got XMen Legends and XMen Legends 2. which I think I played a little bit of these back when they like came out. I kind of remember them being like role-playing RTS type of games, like a combination therein. That's not really my type of thing, so just cool to have really, but nothing that special as far as gameplay is concerned, at least in my opinion. Next up, got something for the Sega Genesis, which I almost never get anything for. Sunset Riders. This is a really hard game to find on the Super Nintendo. The Genesis version is more common, but it's still a pretty valuable game. This is boxed, the cartridge is nice, unfortunately no manual, but it was very cheap. It was only $20, which for this game is actually really a good price, so very happy to get that. Now, moving on, this pile right here, you guys may or may not know I recently took a trip to Texas, specifically Austin, Texas. And a buddy of mine named Chip, who you will know from my podcast, and we did a live stream down there. He took me around to a bunch of game stores, and there's one game store I ended up filming a video in. However, that video isn't out yet. It will be soon. And all the other game stores we went to, I picked some stuff up, but I didn't want to do a bunch of tours and stuff. So I'll just show you a couple random clips of the outside of some of these stores. Now, the first store we went to, I don't remember the name of it, but I'll show you a clip right here. This store was kind of weird. It was a little bit of a chain. I think there were 3 of these. And the way they did it was that they had prices on things, but the prices weren't actually accurate. They also had big pieces of paper next to it saying like all N64 games are 40% off or whatever. Like everything was a certain percentage off. And so as a result, there were some pretty good deals to be had. But I also had to be very picky about the amount of things I was getting just because of the amount of space in my bag. So I relegated mostly to items I don't see usually. So one of them would be Razor Freestyle Scooter for the N64. I have the Dreamcast version, which is I'm sure the better version. But this was a Blockbuster exclusive back in the day, hence the Blockbuster label all over it. Apparently it's very hard to find without the Blockbuster label, which this one has. And it's not like a super valuable game, but exclusive games like that are usually worth picking up just because they're harder to find. But yeah, cool to get that. And then, I want to show these first. Then the same store, or at least, I don't know if it was the exact same store or if it was another one of the same chain, but you get the idea. They sold original Xbox games for 70% off. I'm telling you, nobody wants original Xbox stuff. You should collect original Xbox stuff. This game, nothing special, except that whenever I do see it, it's always incomplete. So they had it complete, so I was very happy to get it. And then, of course, the second I bought it, everywhere I went after that, and literally every fucking store, and Chip can attest to this, every store we went to in Texas after that had the game complete. So, I don't know, it's just one of those things where you never see it until you do, and then you see it everywhere. But it is MLB Slugfest 2003. And then this one is a variant, which I don't usually do, but it was very cheap, so I picked it up. This is a combination of Outlaw Golf and Seablade. 2 separate games they released in one bundle. It was very cheap. It was like I think it was like $1 or $2. And I don't really do variants that much, but for that price I wasn't going to pass on it, especially because I'd never seen it before. I had no idea it existed, so I thought, alright, I'll get that. And then this other store we went to, again I'll show a clip of it here. We went in, and the prices at this store, I noticed, I think I told Chip at the time, it was like, these are extremely on par. Like, they're exactly average prices. So I almost, it was almost like, I'm not getting a deal, so maybe I'll pass on it. But then I just decided, I'm here, there's some items here that I never really see, so let me, screw it, I'll just go ahead and get the games. I got Small Soldiers for the PS1. A game I never really, like I said, never really see this. I like the movie. I'm sure the game's not very good, but it's still just cool just to have. And I also got WWE, or WWF if you remember it that way, Crush Hour. And if you guys ever heard of this game, it's essentially like Twisted Metal, but with WWF characters, or WWE characters, the wrestlers. Weird concept, but cool. So I was at the register to pay the asking price, and then the guy's just like, hey, if you want to go find another $9.99 or less game, I'll just give it to you. I'm like, is it like a buy 2 get 1 free or something? He's like, no, it's cool. You can just go pick something. All right then. So I went back over to the GameCube section, and I got something I'm sure will be very questionable, but I picked it up anyway. Casper Spirit Dimensions for the GameCube. Much like WWE Crush Hour, the only real reason I wanted them is because they're GameCube games that didn't exist on the original Xbox, and that's generally the type of GameCube games I go for. So there you go. Now, next up, I have a box here, as you can see. This box is full of all sorts of stuff. because I've had a very busy month again. I was in Texas. I went to San Francisco, I think twice. And actually, the day you're seeing this, I think I'm already in San Francisco again. This will be the 5th time I've been to San Francisco in the last 2 months. A lot of press events and stuff where they keep bringing me out to do all these things. But anyway, while I was out there, I was at, the most recent time was for a Ubisoft event for Watch Dogs 2. Now we did videos on Watch Dogs 2, you can check them out here on my other channel if you want to. But as a little perk, after it was over, they just gave me a random pair of sunglasses that are Watch Dog themed, so that's neat. So moving on, this is, again, not a game, but it's something odd that I've received. Every once in a while, video game companies send me press kits, which is just a bunch of basically paraphernalia and items for their game, called Shu, S-H-U. And they sent me their press kit. Now this game is actually available on Steam, yeah, I thought it was just a cool press kit and it'd be cool to show you guys. So take the lid off here. First it has basically a letter telling me that they had sent me a code for the game, which they did, and then it's just there's a sticker there, and another sticker, and yet another sticker, and then a little card that has information about the game, a nice art book for the game, some press release information, basically availability information. It looks like it'll be on PS4 digitally and PS Vita digitally, and it's already on Steam. So if you guys want to check that out, you can do that. It also comes with, not exactly, some sort of thing. It's like a cloth. Not really, it's just artwork. And finally, a T-shirt for the game. There you go. On the front, purple, as you can see, like that. And on the back, it just says Shu. So I want to thank the guys over there who made the game, and if you're interested in, take a look at the trailer. I mean, obviously, I don't have game footage to show you, so go take a look at the trailer. If you're interested, you can go check out Shu. Now, finally, when it comes to this box. So as I said, I was in Texas hanging out with Chip. Now, Chip is a really nice guy, which you would know if you listen to the podcast or watch the podcast, if you will. But Chip is also, by his own admission, a little bit of a hoarder, and he had a bunch of stuff that he was really in the mode to just kind of get rid of because he just didn't want it anymore. And so while I was there, he's like, dude, here, look in here. If there's anything here you want, you can just have it. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I'm literally going to throw everything here away. And then he just started handing me things. He's like, yeah, this is going to go in the trash, this is going to go in the trash. And it got to a point where I was like, I can't keep this stuff. Like, I only have my backpack. So some of the stuff he gave me, I'm not showing you in this video. One item in particular is going to get its own video. Another couple of items, like for example, he had a Dreamcast that had a dead motherboard. So he was just going to throw it away. And I was like, well, I'll take some of the parts. So like I took the GD-ROM, I took the power supply, I took the controller ports board, stuff like that. So that stuff's not that interesting, so I'm not going to show it to you. But he also gave me a bunch of random things I'm going to show you. First up, a Gizmondo. Anybody remember this? This was a handheld. Unfortunately, it does not work as far as I know. The reason it doesn't work, again, as far as I know, has no battery pack. I have the power supply, I have an SD card that was designed for it. It says Gizmondo on it, so presumably there's a game on there. But I can't get it to do anything because it doesn't have a battery pack. I assumed it could possibly work with the power cable just plugged in directly, but I couldn't get that to work. So if anybody knows anything about the Gizmondo, I'd love to know. Second up, he also gave me this thing, which I've never heard of, the Watara Supervision, which he said was a Chinese handheld. This one does work, and it comes with a game called Cristobal. Not Crystal Ball, Cristobal. That one works. It also comes with, of course, one of history's greatest games of all time, John Adventure. This is a real thing. There's a game called John Adventure. Unfortunately, John Adventure does not work. I've tried to clean the shit out of it, but there's nothing on it, but I can't get it to run at all. So the device does work, but only Cristobal seems to actually play. Now, there's also another obscure handheld that you might have heard of at some point, the Tabletwave Zodiac. This is the Tabletwave Zodiac 1. Now, Chip must, obviously, as you can tell, he must kind of like handhelds, but I didn't realize how much he actually liked handhelds. He didn't have just one Tabletwave Zodiac. He didn't just have two. He didn't have three. He had four. He had four of the damn things. And he said I could take them all. Now the problem is, see the one in the bag here? This is in a bag, obviously. And this one works. There's nothing wrong with it. It has a couple of games. This one's all set. Power supply, all that stuff. These, there's varying issues. Like one of them, this one has a dead screen, but it boots up. You can tell it's working and everything. This one doesn't do anything, but I don't know if the screen is functional or not. These are both Zodiac 2s, whereas the Zodiac 1 right here works perfectly, and this Zodiac 1 boots up and seems to work just fine, except the touchscreen is non-responsive. So I've got one functional unit and like 3 semi-functional ones, so I'm wondering if I can like Frankenstein them together at some point. We'll see. And finally, he hooked me up with a sealed Bandai WonderSwan Color Crystal Black Edition. Yeah, I think it's called Crystal. Crystal Black Edition. And it comes with 2 Digimon games. It's sealed, obviously. I haven't opened it. I haven't done anything with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to open it. I probably will because I don't really keep stuff sealed generally, but I feel bad doing it on something this, old. But we'll see. But yeah, there you go, guys. First, obviously, I want to thank Chip, and I hope you guys will thank him too. Put a comment in the description, say thanks, Chip. Please check out the podcast he's in. He's an awesome guy. We do it every month. We put out a podcast every single month. And yeah, check out the live stream we did too. In fact, before this video, I think the most recent video was the most recent podcast, so definitely check that out. And thanks to the guys at Shu, thank you Ubisoft, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all later.